I'm your host, Stephanie Humphrey, and we are live right here at Powell Elementary School, where we are giving the school a complete makeover. We have a lot of special guests here today, and we have one of Hands On Network's national sponsors, FedEx, with us as well to talk about their involvement in this effort. Now, if you're just tuning in, we were in Atlanta. They had a lot of great stuff going on down there. They were at the Morehouse School of Medicine Auditorium, where they were talking to Congressman John Lewis and Douglas Shipman, who's the executive director for the Center for Civil and Human Rights Partnership. They also had Scarlett Presley Brown, who is the director of external affairs and community for Delta, another one of Hands On Network's corporate sponsors. A lot of interaction with the public there. About 600 residents stopped in to witness this panel discussion between the congressman and the director. A lot of engagement. So everybody now is kind of filtering out into the community. There are about 30 different service projects happening in the Atlanta metro area today. So lots of volunteers. They also had a great dance performance. There was some spoken words. So lots of stuff going on to kick off Hands On Networks and Just Good TV's MLK Day 2010 virtual town hall. And now we're here live at Powell Elementary. Like I said, they're just gearing up. The principal is about to give everybody a huge pep talk, get all the volunteers psyched and ready to go to give this school a complete makeover. They're going to be doing a lot of stuff. They're painting murals. They're doing canvases. I think they're redoing the whole cafeteria, the auditorium. So lots of good stuff happening here at Powell Elementary. In just a few minutes, we are going to be talking to Councilwoman Muriel Bowser with the 4th Ward. She's very involved in this effort as well. We'll get her thoughts on the volunteer efforts. But let's talk a little bit about the organizations. Hands On Network is the volunteer arm of the Points of Light Institute. It's actually the largest volunteer organization in the country. So lots of people doing lots of good things around the country. Let's see. It also has, we're calling this day a day on, not a day off, because we want to encourage people to kind of come out. You know, you got a day off from work, but there are still a lot of good things, a lot of good work that actually needs to be done in your community. So we encourage people to come out and help and volunteer. Also, if you're watching this online, you can make comments on Twitter. Our hashtag on Twitter is MLK2010. So please log on, give us your comments, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know how you are making a difference in your community today and every day, and what Dr. King's vision and MLK Day means to you. So Twitter hashtag MLK2010. Don't forget that. This is a virtual town hall. It's actually being broadcast in 7 major cities across the United States. We had Atlanta. We're here live now right in D.C. We'll be going to New York after this, Chicago, St. Louis, Phoenix, and Sacramento. So lots of things going on across the country. Hands On Networks involved in a ton of different things around the area. So I think 1,500 different service projects going on just today alone, sponsored by Hands On Network. So a lot of people doing a lot of good things in the community, and we want you to get involved and help as well. More than 100,000 volunteers are scheduled to participate in projects across the country. So a lot of people just really getting out there, really kind of taking to heart that whole day on, not a day off sentiment that Hands On Network is trying to impress upon the people of the country. So don't forget Twitter hashtag MLK2010. In just a few minutes, we will have Councilwoman Muriel Bowser from the 4th Ward to talk to us a little bit about her involvement in this project. We're here live in Washington, D.C., Powell Elementary School, and we're getting ready to kick off a huge overhaul of the school. Right behind me is a blank wall, but in just a little while they're going to do a beautiful mural there. Lots of things going on around the school. Some of the teachers' universities, they're going to paint canvases with the teachers' universities just to encourage the students to start thinking university bound, and thinking about college and getting them prepared for that mindset. Like I said, they're redoing the whole cafeteria, they're redoing the library, reorganizing the library, bringing in new books, lots and lots of stuff going on here today at Powell Elementary. Now, the purpose of today's virtual town hall is just to give citizens an opportunity to to participate in a conversation about real change. This is where you can come, you can post your videos, you can post your own pictures, you can blog, you can do live chat. We actually want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys out there watching are doing to make a difference in your own community. So please feel free to log on, share your volunteer experiences, because you never know what kind of difference it makes. It only takes one person to engage and inspire someone else to make a difference in their own community. And once you start with one community, that just spreads, and pretty soon it's the entire country. We have Councilwoman Muriel Bowser. We have, I'm sorry, this is not Councilwoman, we're one of the volunteers. Come on over. Great. Tell me your name.
I'm Giovanni Washington.
Giovanni Washington, and you are?
Stephen Washington.
Okay, now, why was it important for you guys to come out today to help?
Well, because it's Martin Luther King Day, and it's really a day not to be off, but to be doing some service work today. And I just wanted to pass that on to my son, the importance of helping others.
Absolutely, fantastic. So now, did she have to drag you? Did your mom have to drag you here today, or were you pretty excited about coming out to help?
She had to drag me here.
Honesty. I like the honesty. But now, since you're here, what do you think about what you're going to do today, and why do you think it's important?
I guess it'll be fun. Just helping out other people. I guess it'll be all right.
Okay. Now, do you think this will encourage you to kind of continue that and do some more things in the community every now and again, kind of get out there?
Yeah, because I had to do it for my school sometimes and get service hours. So I learn in school too. So.
Okay, so you're getting a good, strong community service foundation in school and at home, which is great. Talk to us a little bit about, now do you know what you're going to be working on today?
I'm not sure. I'm just here to do whatever they need.
Ready to go wherever you need. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
See, we got a ton of volunteers here already. They're excited. They're ready to go. We have generations of folks, a mom and her son, teaching your children to engage in community service at an early age is really, really important, because that idea of giving back is something that is learned. You don't just you're not just kind of born with that inspiration. You kind of have to learn that. So it's really important for parents and children to do things like this together, so that it kind of continues along in generation to generation, and you have to continue the community service, because I think especially in this time, we have a lot going on. There's, the devastating tragedy in Haiti. We have a lot going on here. A lot of people are very scared about what's happening with the economy, and it's very, very easy to kind of get caught up in your own world and with your own problems and forget that we're a global community here. We really are a global community. We really need to be thinking about our brothers and sisters in our own backyard and around the world. So it's really, really important to kind of keep that in mind and not lose sight of the fact that you can be doing something to help someone else. And it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a ton of time. It takes one day. It takes 1 hour. It takes so little of your time and resources to make such a big impact on people in your own community and around the world. We just encourage everybody to think and have a community service-oriented mindset, because it's very, very important. So we're still waiting on Councilwoman Muriel Bowser, but we will have her when you see me next. We're going to throw it back to Atlanta to see what good works those folks are doing down there. We are back here live in Washington, D.C. I'm your host, Stephanie Humphrey, and we're at Powell Elementary School, where we are gearing up to give the school a total makeover. The principal just gave a huge pep talk, let everybody know where they needed to be, what they were going to do, get everybody psyched for a day of hard work, but worthwhile work. We're going to get the school together. We're painting murals. We're painting canvases. We're actually painting the cafeteria, sprucing that up. We're organizing the library. So lots and lots of stuff to get done today at Powell Elementary School, all for a very good cause. We are MLK 2010 Virtual Town Hall, sponsored by Hands On Network. This is Just Good TV as well. And a little bit more about Hands On Network. Again, like I said, Hands On Network is the volunteer arm of the Points of Light Institute. It's the largest volunteer organization in the country with more than 250 hands-on action centers around the country. It reaches 83% of the population here and in 10 other countries as well. So just a really wide reach of volunteers that are really out there trying to make a difference in their communities. And we have a network of more than 70,000 corporate, faith, and nonprofit organizations that partner with the Hands On Network to get some of these good works done. And in 2008, over 30 million volunteer hours of work were registered. That translates into $615 million worth of man hours. So lots of people out there doing lots and lots of good work, and we definitely appreciate everybody's effort here. Again, if you want to comment, we definitely want to hear what you're doing in your community. Twitter is where you can go to comment. The hashtag is MLK 2010, and we have some volunteers with us this morning. Come on over. Don't be shy. Come on over. Come and tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Megan.
I'm Neha.
Mary Knox.
Very nice to have you. Thank you, ladies, for coming out this morning. Now, tell me a little bit about why it was important for you to come out and serve this morning.
Well, like they say, Martin Luther King Jr. Day should really be not a day off, but a day on. So I think we were all trying to abide by that and trying to just come out and serve the community. This is not normally the community in which we serve, but I think it's important to reach out into other communities and really just show your support, especially on a day like today, and really live out what Dr. King stood for. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, where are you guys from?
We're all from the Greenbrier Learning Center. They're AmeriCorps team, and it's in Arlington, Virginia. We serve South Arlington.
Okay, so you drove up from Arlington today to serve. Great, fantastic. And now, are you guys ready to do some hard work? Do you know what you're going to be doing yet?
I think we're going to be doing some painting in the foyer, so we're excited to do that. And I think we're going to do values, so it should be fun. Yeah.
Now, what other types of things have you guys been doing in the Arlington community?
We've participated in walks or races for causes in the local Arlington community.
Fantastic. Now, is this something that you kind of just do because it's inherent, or how did you get involved in doing this type of community service?
I think it's important, and Greenbrier Learning Center is all about giving back to others and helping people with what we can, and so that's why we're here today.
Fantastic. Well, the lovely ladies of Greenbrier Learning Center right out of Alexandria, Virginia, here today at Powell Elementary School to help give the school a complete makeover. Ladies, thank you so much for helping out. We are greatly appreciative of your effort and your time, and thanks for talking to us on Hands On Network. Thank you. Like I said, tons of volunteers here, everybody here with the same mission. It's a day on, not a day off. You know, maybe you sleep in, but maybe you get up and then go to your local community center and see what you can do to help. It's just such an important cause. We can't stress that enough, that we are all one global community, and with everything that's going on in the world, it's really easy to kind of lose sight of the fact that, you know, there are people out there that need our help. So whatever little thing you can do, you know, an hour of your time, it doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take any money really, just a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and you can make a big difference in your community. And we want to hear from you as well. We want to hear what you out there are doing in your communities. Twitter hashtag is MLK 2010. We got some folks heading towards their first big project. This is the mural. We're getting all of the logistics for the mural that's going to cover this wall right here. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful when it's finished. We got a lot of people on staff here ready to put up, I think they're doing some inspirational quotes for the kids, just so that when they walk past, they read these things, and these things become a part of their psyche. If you read something every day, you start to believe it, you start to ingest it, it starts to become a part of your mentality, and you believe that you can do it, you know. So they're going to put some inspirational quotes right up on this wall behind me, something for the kids to see every single day when they come in, and they can get that inspiration and motivation to achieve. So they're starting that in just a few minutes here. We are going to try to get we have the principal. Janice, tell me your last name.
Dokal.
This is the principal of Powell Elementary School, Janice Dokal. Janice, talk a little bit about how it makes you feel that so many people came out to help Powell Elementary.
Well, as I was explaining when I greeted all the volunteers, someone once said that a school is only as good as the community that keeps it. So it's really fantastic to see so many strong community members come out in support of education in their local school with a common sense of purpose and goals for responsibility to the school, as well as promoting the mission of the District of Columbia Public Schools, which is equity and excellence for every student.
Now talk a little bit about, I've been looking around and I see like attendance goals and lots of really positive quotes and plaques and awards and things. Talk about some of the things you guys have been doing here at Powell Elementary with the kids.
Well, since last year, we're one of the highest improving schools, so we made 12% gains from last year to this year already, and we are meeting our targets for attendance. As I said, students love coming to school here. They're excited to come every day. Our mission is that every child, we only go to 4th grade, but that every 4th grader will graduate here with 2 languages, being a member of their community and able to graduate from the high school and college of their choice. So we really promote we call them scholars, and we really promote the mission of going to university. And then other things that the volunteers are doing to help us with that is they're putting up a lot of our values and our promise to the students. They're also hanging up the different colleges that the teachers went to. The logos of the universities are going to be posted by the teachers' doors, so that as students enter, they will think about college every day.
A little bit more inspiration for them. That's great. That's great. And now, what types of things do you do here at Powell to encourage community service amongst your students?
Sure. We're going to be right now, some of the projects that we've already done, there's some pictures on our parent board over there, but we did a homeless walk to raise awareness for affordable housing in D.C. And then we did the Hall of Plenty, where we collected about 30 different Thanksgiving baskets for some of our homeless families in our school. We've done coat drives and school supply drives. And next week we're going to start one to support the communities of Haiti and support the Red Cross and make little kits with basic necessities that a church will send down for us. Right now we are also building partnerships with McFarland Middle School and Roosevelt High School, and they're doing some cross-age tutoring with us. And so though our students are actually being the recipients then of the service, but then they'll be doing tutoring about literacy and numeracy.
Fantastic. So community service pretty much is one of the standard things that you teach here, along with reading and writing and arithmetic, basically. That's fantastic. Well, it sounds like you are doing great work here, Principal Janice, and we really appreciate you appearing on camera. We appreciate all the great work you're doing with the students here, not just today, but every day. So
thank you. And if more people want to volunteer, this shouldn't have to end today. We have daily opportunities from 8 to 8:30. We welcome community members to come and read with the youth. We have a morning reading initiative every day. We have Tuesday tours, so if the community would like to take a tour of the school and learn about how to get more involved every Tuesday, they can come and meet with me. So
now, does the school have a website?
Building one right now, yes. So it's in development, under construction, coming soon.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was the principal of Powell Elementary. You can see they are already, not just today, but every day, doing wonderful, wonderful things here to serve their community. And these are, 2nd and 3rd graders. So there's really no excuse for anyone not to give of their time, to give of their resources, to do just something simple in your community every day that can make such a big difference. They're contributing to the Haiti relief effort. They're contributing to homeless people. We are going to take a look at what they're doing over here at the mural wall. It looks like they're getting ready to get the values up there. That's Powell's promise. It says, if it is to be, it is up to me. I am powerful beyond measure. I manifest pride, poise, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence for myself, my family, my community, and my world. Those are powerful, powerful words there. They're looks like they're projecting it up there on a projector, and then they'll use that as the stencil to actually paint it on the wall. But those are really, really powerful words, and I can only imagine that, you know, a child coming in here every day and having the opportunity to see that and read that, it just becomes a part of who they are. And it doesn't take very long to actually believe those words and kind of internalize them and make them a part of you. And that's just a great, great statement that pretty much sums up, I think, the promise that this school is trying to give to these young people, so that they can continue to achieve and continue to be motivated and continue to be inspired. You know, like the principal said, they're going to be putting the canvases of the teachers' universities outside each room, so when the students see that, you know, then college doesn't seem like such a far off thing. College doesn't seem like something unattainable, because they're seeing these canvases every single day, and they know that's where their teachers went. They know they have a chance to go there too, because these types of things aren't just inherent, they're learned. Kids need to be told and be motivated and be shown that they have the capability to achieve. They need to be shown that they have the capacity to do well in school, and they will have the opportunity to go to college if they just work hard, because it is there for the taking. So, you know, things like this, murals like this, you know, values like this, sayings like this, these things only serve to reinforce, you know, the message that we're trying to get out to the youth, which is that if you believe it, you can achieve it. It is truly, truly possible to have anything you want if you're willing to work hard for it. So we're just happy to be here. Again, we're live at Powell Elementary School in Washington, D.C. I'm Stephanie Humphrey, and we're gearing up for a full day of activities. The school's getting a makeover, guys. They're putting murals on the wall. The cafeteria is getting a facelift. The library is getting organized. So lots and lots of projects going on all day today. This is through Hands On Network. We're coming to you through Hands On Network, which is a volunteer arm of the Points of Light Institute, and this is our MLK Day virtual town hall meeting. We're actually going to be in 7 major cities today and bringing you all the good things that people are doing all around the country. Where we were in Atlanta, where we had Congressman John Lewis. We had some great dance performances, some spoken word performances, a lot of good stuff going on down in Atlanta. Really engaging panel discussion with the congressman down there as well. They were at the Morehouse School of Medicine auditorium, and folks were getting ready to go out to about 30 different service projects around the Atlanta metro area. So people down there really ready, really engaged, really fired up and psyched to go out and help their communities today, because remember, it is a day on, not a day off. And so we're here now in Washington, D.C. We'll also be going to New York, to Chicago, to Phoenix, to Sacramento. So lots of cities around the country. People are doing great works all around the country with the Hands On Network. We're actually here with Hands On Network's federal sponsor, national sponsor, FedEx, and we'll be talking to someone from that company in a little while. We have a councilwoman here. We have project leaders. We just talked to the principal of Powell Elementary School. So lots and lots of folks here that all came out for the same reason, and that's just to make a difference in their community. It doesn't take much, you know, a few hours out of your day to paint a mural, to do something that's going to inspire, that's going to motivate, that's going to leave your community just a little bit better off than it was before you got there. So we are going to take another look at the folks getting ready for the mural, and we are going to get some other folks in here to talk to us in just a short while. Let's also talk about the Corporation for National and Community Service. That is a federal agency that is in partnership with the Hands On Network. It engages more than 5 million Americans in service each year. And there are 3 main parts of that corporation, the Senior Corps, the AmeriCorps, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and Learn and Serve America. The Corporation for National and Community Service also leads President Obama's National Call to Service initiative, which is called United We Serve. So lots of people doing lots of great things. Lots of people here doing lots of great things. All right, we also have now here one of our project leaders for today's events. She's very, very busy, as you can see. This is one of our project leaders. This is Stephanie. This is another Stephanie Bechtold. And who do you work for, Stephanie?
I work for the Food and Drug Administration.
Okay. And now, why was it important for you to come out today and serve?
As a young professional here in the D.C. area, it's really difficult to try to get some volunteer opportunities. I came out of college doing a lot of things, and I moved to the area, and I found this organization, Greater D.C. Cares, and they really cater towards people like me who want to volunteer and give their time, but don't necessarily have the time to give a regular commitment to an organization. So these kind of events where I can both help the community and develop my leadership skills is really a great opportunity for me.
Fantastic. So now you're one of the project leaders. What projects are you in charge of today?
So today we are sorting and organizing and moving around the furniture in the library to make it more accessible to students. We are painting some murals up on the walls with the students' core values, and we're also helping out the Spanish teacher with making their Spanish classroom more accessible for their bilingual studies that they do here at the school.
Fantastic. Now, about how many volunteers would you say you're in charge of today?
I have about 30, I would say, split out amongst a couple different projects.
And what's the vibe now? Are people pretty psyched up? People ready to go?
People are really excited, and they're looking for things to do.
Well, fantastic. So we got Stephanie here. She has a group. She has a team that she's going to lead and do some great things around the school. We got lots and lots of people here. Volunteers are ready to go, giving Powell Elementary a complete makeover. And when the students get back tomorrow, they won't recognize it. It'll be great. So, Stephanie, thank you very much for talking to us and also for volunteering your time.
Great. Thank you very much.
That's just one of our many volunteers or one of the people that are doing great things here at Powell Elementary. We're live here with Hands On Network, and we're giving the school a makeover, basically. We're painting murals, we're fixing the cafeteria, we're organizing the library, and we're giving the students a sense of hope. You know, a lot of the murals we're painting are the school's core values, and they're intended to give the students the inspiration and the motivation that they need on a daily basis to become high achievers. And we're just really happy to be here. We're happy to, have so many people that have come out to help with such a worthy cause. We're going to start talking to some more people, but let's just take another quick look at the mural behind me. We can look at the words. It's Powell's Promise. It's one of their core values. Powell's Promise, it says, if it is to be, it is up to me. I am powerful beyond measure. I manifest pride, poise, perseverance, and the endless pursuit of excellence in myself, my family, my community, and the world. Really, really powerful words there. Can't say it better. It's something that the kids will see every single day. And they'll begin to internalize it, and they'll begin to believe it. And that's the type of motivation and the type of thing that kids need. In just a few minutes, we are going to have another special guest with us. Now, we have another really special guest here. And now, as you know, I'm sure you've all heard of the Peace Corps. Volunteers serve in 74 countries in Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, Central and South America, Europe, and the Middle East. And this morning, we are here with the Associate Director of the Peace Corps, We have Rosie Mock. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
That's right.
And she's Associate Director of the Peace Corps. She's here also to participate. So tell everybody why it was important for you to come out and what the Peace Corps' involvement in this project is.
Well, since we Americans have about 7,700 Americans serving today in our 76 countries across the world, this is what we're about. I mean, these are the individuals that make this commitment for 27 months to go serve and help in other parts of the world, just like we serve here today in Washington, D.C. We have 200,000 return Peace Corps volunteers. Wow. Many who I am presuming are serving today in their local communities. When they come back, it's a big part of a Peace Corps volunteer's commitment is that when they return, they will never stop serving. So it's a great connection for all of us with volunteer centers, AmeriCorps, Peace Corps. We're all here for the same reason, to make a difference and change people's lives. Certainly what's happening in Haiti this week is very important to us. We have over 500 people here in the United States that have served in Haiti in the past in the Peace Corps, and many of them are looking to go back and again serve. So whether we're painting schools in our local neighborhoods and communities or helping to rebuild a school in Haiti, that's what we're about, and we feel a big part of the volunteer community. Peace Corps has been around for almost 50 years.
Right.
And we just are continuing to look to give back, have opportunities for people to serve. So
now, does the Peace Corps coordinate efforts domestically as well as internationally?
With our Return Peace Corps volunteers that we do. We've been trying to work closer and closer these days with the folks at the Corporation for National and Community Service and our volunteer centers to make sure that some of our efforts are coordinated.
Okay.
Yes.
So now what can people do if they're interested in becoming a volunteer in the Peace Corps?
Oh, we would love to hear from people that are interested in serving. Our applications are up almost 20%. Which is a huge uptick this past year, especially since President Obama's call to service in his inaugural speech. If you're 18 years of age and older, a U.S. citizen, please go to our website, www.peacecorps.gov, and take a look. Our oldest serving volunteer is 86 years old.
Wow.
So there's no upper age limit.
That's
Absolutely right. Not. We would love to hear from people that might be interested.
And now, how many returning Peace Corps members do you have here with you today?
You know, I don't know who all is here. I bet if I ask people to raise their hands, I certainly don't know all 200,000, but my guess is there are a lot of Return Peace Corps volunteers in this building today.
Fantastic,
yes.
Fantastic. Now on a more personal level, why is it important to you to serve?
When I was raising my children in Texas, it became a part of what we did personally and as a family. And then it just so happened that when I first heard about AmeriCorps in the very beginning with President Clinton, I was asked to become the director of AmeriCorps. So I was the director of AmeriCorps from 2001 to 2006. And then I went over to the Peace Corps to head up all of the recruitment and placement of volunteers. I've always believed, as does my family, that as many people do here, that if you are given so much, you need to give back. There's so much we can do to make a difference. Again, whether it's in your own neighborhood or in other countries, it's easy, it's rewarding, and it really does make a difference. Our volunteer world has become so organized that you really can see the results of your labor, whether it's tutoring or building houses or painting or mentoring somebody. You do see the results. It's what this country's built on.
Absolutely. Well, Rosie, thank you very much for speaking to us. We appreciate it, and we appreciate your help and your efforts today and every day in the Peace Corps.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Rosie Mock. She's the Associate Director of the Peace Corps. They're not just an international organization. They also do a lot of good work right here at home, right here in their own communities, their own backyards. And you heard Rosie, their oldest volunteer is 86 years old. So you don't really have any excuse not to give something of your time, your resources, your efforts. It doesn't take much. Something as simple as painting a mural on the wall can make a huge difference and a huge impact in the life of someone else. So we encourage everybody around the country to make this a day on, not a day off. This is MLK 2010. We're here live for the virtual town hall meeting sponsored by handsonnetwork.org. And we're just talking to people. We're getting a feel for what's going on around here. Everybody's busy. Everybody's excited. Everybody's ready to be engaged. Everybody's motivated. And they're doing good work here. They're giving Powell Elementary School basically a makeover. There's murals. The cafeteria is being painted. The library is being organized. Things are being fixed so that Spanish-speaking and bilingual students can have an easier transition here. So lots and lots of good things happening here at Powell Elementary, and just all for a good cause. Hands On Network is the volunteer arm of the Points of Light Institute. It's the largest volunteer organization in the country. 250 centers around the country. 70,000 partners, religious, corporate, and nonprofit partners around the country. 30 million volunteer hours in 2008. That translates into $615 million in man hours. So they've been doing lots and lots of good works around the country for a very long time, and we encourage you to do the same. We also want to hear from you. So if you're out there, having a day on and not a day off, or if you're just in the volunteer mood, if you have some experiences you want to share, we're chatting live, we're blogging, we want to see your pictures, we want to see your videos. You can also leave your comments on Twitter. The hashtag is MLK2010. So we would love to hear from people. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask someone here, we can do that live, we can do that real time. So just upload those things to Twitter or onto the website. We would definitely love to hear from you guys. We're here at Powell Elementary again. We're taking a look at the mural. It looks like they're getting the stencil for that all together. It's Powell's Promise, and they're putting the school's core values all around the school just so the students can see them every single day. They can incorporate them into their daily lives, and it kind of becomes a part of you when you see these things. You read them over and over again, and you get a chance to see them and use them as motivation. Okay, we are waiting now to speak to someone from one of Hands On Network's national sponsors is FedEx, and we will speak to her in just a moment. A representative from FedEx is here this morning, and we're going to speak to her in just a few moments. But let me tell you a little bit more about the Corporation for... Well, in just a few minutes, we will be speaking to that representative from FedEx, but right now we are going to cut to a declaration of service video just to take a little look at some things people are doing around the country and get some more inspiration about why it's so important to serve. We'll be right back. We are back live here in Washington, D.C. at Powell Elementary School for a day on, not a day off, MLK 2010 Virtual Town Hall Day of Service. And we are extremely pleased to have Congresswoman Doris Matsui from California here to talk a little bit about why service is important to her. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here.
Very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
We appreciate it. Now, you were a pretty big supporter of the Edward M. Kennedy Service Act. So what is that going to mean now that it's passed? What is that going to mean for communities and volunteers going forward, and why is it important?
What was really wonderful about the Edward M. Kennedy Service Act is because it really does basically take it one step further. It really does, in essence, make a commitment to this nation that community service is really important. And we're doing this by expanding the number of volunteers in AmeriCorps from 75,000 to 250,000. And this is really important because when we passed this legislation earlier on in the early 90s for national service, it was the beginning part of what we really believe is important for this country. Now, in essence, because of the importance of education and the fact that service is a part of that, this is really a national commitment that service is a part of our lives.
And when do we expect to kind of see the results, see these new volunteers in action and have this kind of impact our communities?
We are seeing it now, today, because we're appropriating the monies for this. And as you can tell, this is an ongoing situation where we have had service involvement for a very, very long time. People are out there wanting to be involved in service. You know, we're doing this on Martin Luther King Day. This is a National Day of Service. This is the only day of service that Congress has designated. And so there is a focus on this National Day of Service because of Dr. Martin Luther King's contributions towards service. He always said to us, that one of the quotes, out of his many quotes, he said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And very much so, as we move forward, I'm co-chair of the National Service Caucus, and that's an important thing to understand because amongst my colleagues, there is this real sense that public service is part of service itself too. So we enact legislation to make life better, where we hope our citizens and the people in our constituents, our districts back home. And what Martin Luther King basically believed in is that we should empower individuals and that way strengthen our communities and address the social needs, and that will really motivate us and move us toward his vision of a beloved community. Because as we look at our family and our communities, and we look upon that as something that we need to contribute to, and all of a sudden we realize as a community we're working together. Despite our differences, and that's what Dr. King was talking about. You stand up against intolerance and injustice. There are many things that we can agree upon. And as we participate in community in the projects that we're demonstrating today, there is a sense that we're all in it together. And what we're doing with in Congress with the Edward M. Kennedy Serve Act is really having this part of what we do in our country too, every single day, not just today, but in the days ahead too. And I have to tell you, in this country, we have this instinct, I believe, to serve. I think from the very beginning, from our forefathers and our foremothers, who really believe is important because this was a rough country to begin with. And in essence, I think we had to work together in order to survive. And we built our communities, and we built our cities and our states, in essence, in order to help each other to serve. You can see this happening even this week with a terrible earthquake in Haiti. And the American people stepped up. They wanted to step up because they understand the needs of a community, and in this case, the devastating needs that have been expressed in a country that is really so close to us. So for all of us, today is a wonderful day.
So on a more personal level, talk about your own personal experience of why service is important to you, so important to you.
I think that I have always lived with the idea of service. My parents were people who always participated in the community and gave back to the community. My earliest memories of service was as a kindergarten child. And you know, there are some things you remember. I remember this at 5 years old, that our kindergarten building did not look that attractive. Now they wouldn't trust us to paint because we weren't that good or that tall to paint. But we all looked around, and there were several of us decided that we need some flowers here. We need some flowers. So each of us went to our parents and said, you know, can you help us? And they said, well, if you get together and get a group, we will help you, but you have to do that yourself. So we did do that. We got a group together. We asked our parents to contribute the plants so that we can plant the flowers. Now, they went a little bit overboard because they let us, after they gave us the plants, gave us a designated area, but they didn't really tell us how to do this all. So we had some interesting plantings there. We didn't go into color schemes. We just went and did whatever we wanted to do. But the whole thing was that we decided to do something, and we did it together. And we realized that this is a way you make relationships and friendships, and you actually come up with something that is totally wonderful. And that's really been my whole life. I mean, I've served, whether it's in organizations and sort of just worker bee or leading the organization, on boards and commissions, and now as a member of Congress. That to me is the ultimate service and public service, because we can actually do things at a national level that might impact those people who are at home. And my hometown of Sacramento has a great reputation for service. We're a very diverse community, and we help each other. So today we're doing things like feeding the homeless, and we're doing food banks, and we're painting schools, as we're doing here, reorganizing libraries and things of that nature. A lot of the service is service that's going to be continuous too as we move on.
Fantastic. So it started from a young age and continues to this day. Congresswoman, thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate your help today and every day, and all of your efforts to affect change in this country. Thank you. That was Congresswoman Doris Matsui. She's committed to service. Everybody here, I think, is committed to the idea of service. Powell Elementary School Live, Washington, D.C. I'm Stephanie Humphrey. This is the MLK Day 2010 Virtual Town Hall, and we have another special guest. Come on over. This is Nikki Gorin, and you are, well, I'll let you tell us. You are the director, acting CEO
of the Corporation for National and Community Service.
Okay, now talk to us a little bit about what that corporation is and what they do.
Sure, I will answer that. I just want to thank you for doing this and thank Greater DC Cares and the Points of Light Institute for doing this simulcast. It's a great way to be talking and having a dialogue about this on Martin Luther King Day. The corporation is a federal agency. We make grants to support national service and community service across the country, primarily through AmeriCorps, Senior Corps, and Learn and Serve, which are our main programs. But we also are the agency designated to supporting and making Martin Luther King Day a day on, not a day off, a day of service.
Fantastic. Now, I guess if you could do one thing to make Dr. King's dream come true today, what would that be, and how would the corporation play a part in that?
I think that the biggest role the corporation can play is to continue amplifying this day and supporting this day as a day on, not a day off. This is really the most fitting way to celebrate Dr. King's life and his legacy, having people commemorate this day as a day on, serving in their communities, reaching out to their neighbors in needs, helping the nonprofit sector, whatever it is. There are so many needs in this country, internationally, from Haiti, which we've all watched this week, and there are a lot of projects we understand going on across the country to raise money for the Haiti relief effort, which is the best way to support that right now, to alleviating poverty in our country and continuing to fight and have dialogue about social justice and equality in this country. Those are the best ways to commemorate this day.
So now on a more personal level, talk a little bit about your experiences in community service and why this is so important to you.
I've been with the corporation for 12 years, and I basically have grown up there professionally. And I joined it because I really believe fundamentally in giving back to our communities and supporting individuals to allow them to do that. And so over the years, on Martin Luther King Day, I've gone out with my family. My son is actually in the corner over there waiting for me so we can go serve. And bringing up my children to understand that service in your community is just part of who you are. And they are growing up that way, and they're serving in their schools already, in elementary school, and coming out on these days of service. So it's very meaningful for me personally to serve, but also to be bringing up my kids to believe that that's what we need to do.
That's fantastic. Well, we really thank you for coming out here today and being a part of this whole thing. It's definitely a totally worthwhile project, and we thank you for your service today and every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That was Nikki Gorin. She is the acting CEO for the, I want to make sure I get it right, National Corporation for National and Community Service. They do a lot of good works around the country here, and they're here today at Powell Elementary to help us out with this thing as well. So do we have the sponsors from FedEx? We have, come on in. You're Gina Adams, right? FedEx is one of Hands On Network's national corporate sponsors, and they are here today en masse to pitch in and get their hands dirty and serve. Gina Adams is the Director of External
Affairs. I'm Corporate Vice President for Government Affairs at FedEx.
Corporate Vice President for Government Affairs. Talk to us a little bit about why FedEx wanted to get involved in this project.
Great. Thank you. First, Stephanie, thank you so much for having all of us, our FedEx team. We're excited about being here today and helping with all of the day's activities. FedEx delivers about 1 million packages every day, every business day, and every package is special to us. And that's just as we take our packages seriously, we are serious about serving communities around the world. So when we think of service, we're reminded of a couple of quotes by Dr. Martin Luther King. One, he said, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve." Dr. King also said, life's most penetrating and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? So we are especially proud today to join in with other organizations and individuals who are celebrating the legacy of Dr. King by getting involved in community services. And as I speak, we actually have about 1,000 FedEx team members around the nation in about 5 U.S. cities. We're in Memphis and Dallas, Chicago, and Jersey City. And frankly, the work that we're doing today is an extension of the community outreach we do year-round in communities, not only in the United States, but in the world.
So you got all the troops deployed today, basically. We'll talk about a few of the other things that FedEx does outside of today and in your commitment to community service.
Well, whether we're dealing with food banks, disaster reliefs, we're doing a lot with Haiti right now, child and pedestrian safety, environmental programs, educational programs, whether we're working with United Way, a March of Dimes, or Orbis, the Flying Eye Hospital. All of the work we do in communities around the world is part of the life and culture of FedEx. And we see our involvement in the community as an investment in the communities and to help make communities better, those communities in which all of us live and work. And so we're doing quite a bit. We're always doing a lot of work. Our hearts, of course, are heavy with what is happening in Haiti. We're very involved in helping out in that devastating situation as well. We've contributed over $1 million in cash and in-kind contributions, and we're working with a number of organizations to bring some level of relief to the devastation there.
Fantastic. Now, are there any kind of specific issues here in D.C. that you're seeing that FedEx is kind of working directly towards?
Well, one of the things, and I'm a native Washingtonian, so what happens in Washington is particularly important to me. And so we're here at Powell Elementary School in Washington, obviously, and education is a big part of what we're concerned about. We believe that it is critical to provide our communities, our nation, our world with inspired and confident leaders. And so we are working with Junior Achievement Worldwide. And
I was a member of Junior Achievement back in the day.
We also work, a number of our executives work with Teach for America. I go back to my high school and do some things there. And so we also support a lot of scholarship funds. We believe that students need to have access, and they get that access by getting the funding that they need to make all of what we're doing here possible.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like FedEx does things, not just today, but every day. It sounds like there's a real commitment there to service and to just kind of making the world a better place, really, domestically and internationally. And we really appreciate it. And we appreciate having you on to talk to us. Live webcast, Hands-On Network. We got all of FedEx. You guys ready to get your hands dirty?
Yeah, get back to it.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Absolutely. What you just heard from Gina Adams. She is the Vice President of Government Affairs for FedEx, one of Hands-On Network's national corporate sponsors. FedEx is committed, completely committed to serve the community today, not just today, but every day. They're doing a lot of great things here and around the world to help people every single day, and you can do it too. We are now here. If we could, I'm going to step off camera for one quick second, let you take another look at all the great work being done. We have a mural being painted with some of Powell Elementary's core values. Very inspirational thing going on there. Lots of people here pitching in, rolling up their sleeves, all in the name of service. A day on, not a day off. And I'm back. We have another very, very special guest with us today. We have Dr. Mady Henson. She is actually the CEO of Greater DC Cares, one of the main sponsors of, I think, this event, and doing great work all around the city. Dr. Henson, thank you very much for talking to us today. Talk a little bit about what Greater DC Cares is and what you do.
Greater DC Cares is the largest and leading coordinator of volunteerism and community service here in the Greater Washington region in the nation's capital. We are very excited about it. We do service 365 days a year. We had over 20,000 volunteers we put into service in 2009, and just excited about that. And so here on Martin Luther King Holiday of Service, it is the first National Day of Service and one of our large days of service. We have over 3,000 volunteers across 71 sites here in the nation's capital doing service, just like you see here at Powell. Thank you.
Now, I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt that once said, with freedom comes responsibility. What does that mean to you, and what do you think citizens should take from that statement?
Okay. I think what that means is that everyone has the opportunity to make a difference. I think Dr. Martin Luther King said everybody can be great because everyone can serve. It is the great equalizer. We all have the ability to make a difference in someone's life, and there are many that are in a much less fortunate position than we are. And so as you get out and see that you make a difference in your community, in your schools, in your area around you, you feel good about that. But we can be great, and it is important for everybody to make a difference in the place that you live and you serve, and you want to make it happen.
Now, talk to me on a more personal level about why you chose this profession, why service is so important to you.
I think for me personally, and my entire life has always been, I was reared in an environment where you served and you helped, and it was the village community environment in that process, and it has just become a part of how I live and how I work. The exciting piece now is I can do it every day in what I do, and I can inspire others to do that. As I said, through Greater DC Cares, the ability to really engage others in community, to get them engaged in what happens, is so exciting. So I can go to sleep every night knowing the great difference you make, and it does make a difference in doing what we do.
Now, about how many different service projects are happening around the city today?
Around the city, there are hundreds and projects that are around the city. Through Greater DC Cares, though, we have over 70 projects. And to talk about the spirit and volunteerism, last year on Martin Luther King Holiday of Service, we had 600 volunteers in service. This year we got 3,000. And so we are just ecstatic, excited. I've been around to a number of the sites, and people are excited about the ability to get in, get their hands in something and make a difference. And we're excited to be that engine to allow them to do that.
Absolutely. So what can people do in the D.C. area if they want to get involved?
If you want to get involved in service any day of the year, you can go to www.greaterdccares.org.
Say that right to camera.
www.greaterdccares.org. Our website, you can easily click on volunteer and get yourself connected so that you can serve.
Fantastic. Dr. Henson, thank you so much for coming and for all the great work that you do today and every day. We appreciate it. Dr. Mady Henson, CEO of Greater DC Cares, largest service organization in the city. They're here. FedEx is here. The Corporation for National and Community Service is here. The Peace Corps is here. Everybody is here to make a difference. I think I've heard it. I've been keeping a tally 3 times now, the Dr. King quote about everybody can be great because everybody can serve, and it is not more truer than it is today. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot of resources. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take any money, really. Anybody can serve, and we would like to hear from you about what you're doing to serve. You can hit us up on Twitter. The hashtag is MLK2010. You can upload videos. You can upload pictures. We would love to hear about your volunteer experiences as well while we're here live, Washington, D.C., Powell Elementary. The school's getting a complete makeover, paint, murals, spruce, cleaning, and we're here and we're serving and we're glad to be here. Is this Nuri here? Do we have Nuri? Come on over, Nuri. This is Nuri Heckler. You're a VISTA member. Talk about what VISTA is. I've never heard of that. I'm sure a lot of people watching probably would love some information about that. Talk about VISTA.
So AmeriCorps has several different opportunities to volunteer for 1 year to serve your community and your country. One of them is the Volunteers in Service to America, and they get in, basically in bed. They get in the organizations with which they serve. For instance, I am placed with Greater DC Cares, and I'm serving on a neighboring project here in the Columbia Heights area of Washington, D.C.
Fantastic. Now, how many people from VISTA are here today? Do you know?
I know that there are some people actually from our employers, the National Corporation for the Corporation for National and Community Service, which is the agency that actually runs AmeriCorps. And I also know that there is at least one other VISTA member here today, Ariel Krasner, who also is doing a year of service with Greater DC Cares. We have 3 in the office right now.
Okay. So now why, on a more personal level, why was it important to you to be involved in VISTA in general and then come out today and serve?
Well, I actually did go to law school, and I got my degree last year in 2008. And I wanted to go into public interest law. And right now, I decided the best way to move forward on that was to go into public interest. And so volunteering, this is my last opportunity, I felt, before I got embroiled in the law firm atmosphere, to really have a year to volunteer my time for my country and for this community, the Greater DC and Greater Columbia Heights area, which I've grown to love.
Awesome, awesome. So what are you working on today?
Well, today we've got our huge project, the Martin Luther King Day project, but there are actually 5 sites in the neighborhood that I am organizing, doing community organizing with, including this site here at Powell. And by doing the Powell, we're not only painting murals, we're not only cleaning up, painting out the doors and painting the area around the stage, we're also creating links with the neighborhood that will last for years to come. So you said earlier that Martin Luther King said, anyone can be great because anyone can serve. Well, that's really going off of that sentence that anyone can be great, that sentiment that anyone can be great. That means that the people across the street can be great, and the people just down the road can be great. We can get them in to serve in their own neighborhood and help out their neighbors. Then they're going to be doing it year after year because all they have to do is leave their door, turn around the corner, and they show up here at Powell, and the principal will be able to put them to work.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you're excited for a big day of dirty hands and getting sweaty and you're raring to go?
Lots and lots of paint. There will be paint everywhere. So I keep track of that nice sweater because it's going to get you at some point.
Well, Nuri, thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you for all the great work you're doing here and all year round. We appreciate it. Take care. That was Nuri Heckler. He's a VISTA member for AmeriCorps and Greater DC Cares. So lots of people came out today. It was important to everybody. The sentiment and the feeling that I'm getting is that, you know, people have been doing this for a long time. Maybe they grew up with their parents encouraging them to be involved in community service, and so it was something that was started at an early age, and it stays with you. It stays with you, that urge, that need to serve, that desire to help your fellow man in your community, that stays with you. So we have another very, very special guest with us today, Council Member Muriel Bowser. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Talk to us a little bit about why it was important for you to be here today.
Well, it's important. Every year we work with our community, Ward 4 community, in an area that needs sprucing up, needs help for a day of service. So we reach out to Ward 4 residents far and wide and say, come down and participate. And every year, Ward 4 residents impress us by the numbers of people that show up. So this year we're at POW and we're doing some really important projects.
Now, are you seeing a lot of the community coming out this year?
We really are. What people are really looking for, what we find out, is a yearning to connect with one another, and they see Martin Luther King Day as not only a day to really honor a great hero in our community, but to really give back. And sometimes they just want to know how they can connect with other people in their neighborhood, and this is a really good way to do it.
Okay. Now, if there was like one thing you could recommend to folks to kind of get out there and do, maybe something small, maybe not, that might have like a almost immediate impact on their community, what would that thing be?
Believe it or not, if people could just look around their neighborhood, their own blocks, their own neighborhood schools, and find a way to give back. It may just mean knocking on the door of your elderly neighbor to say, do you need anything? It may mean going around the block and picking up litter. Things very simple as that can change your community. And then we always ask people to get involved by coming to meetings and saying to their officials and school principals, this is what can make our neighborhood better.
So now, on a more personal level, why is service important to you personally? Where did that come from?
Well, service is important to me because I'm in the government, and I know firsthand that there's a lot of things that government can do and do well. But even if we do everything perfectly, there are a lot of needs that will go unfilled. So it's so important that the community gets involved as well and pitches in where they can, because that way we'll build a more perfect Washington, D.C.
Fantastic. Well said. Thank you, Councilwoman, very much. Thank you. That was Councilwoman Muriel Bowser from the 4th Ward here with her gloves, getting her hands dirty, rolling her sleeves up just like everybody else here at Powell Elementary for a day on, not a day off. Thank you very much. And that's pretty much been the sentiment all day. Everybody here ready to serve. It doesn't take a lot. You walk around your neighborhood, you see something on the ground, you pick up a piece of trash, maybe you go to a city council meeting, maybe you know of someone next door that needs help. It doesn't take much. It only takes a little bit to make a huge, huge impact on your community. So we encourage everyone out there, not just today, but every day, to make a commitment to serve, because it makes such a huge difference. Today is a day off, not a day on. I'm Stephanie Humphrey, and we are still here live in Washington, D.C. from Powell Elementary School for the MLK Day virtual town hall meeting sponsored by the Hands On Network. And we have a couple more guests. We have some special guests, but we're going to send you back up to the mural and see folks in progress. We can see people painting, people diligent. Those are some of Powell Elementary's core values that they're putting up on the wall there. And you can see it's for the students. They see it every day. They incorporate it into their daily lives, and they really make it a part of. You can see they make it a part of their daily lives and just really kind of internalize it, and just really words of inspiration and motivation for the students. This is only just one of the many projects that are going on today here at Powell Elementary. They are actually repainting the cafeteria and the auditorium area. They're reorganizing the library. They are painting some classrooms. Actually, the teachers are painting canvases with their school mascots, their university mascots, to hang outside their room so that the students, every time they walk through that door, they can see that university symbol and they can, start to believe that they actually too can go to college, can go to a university, can kind of do whatever they want. All of their dreams are attainable, but they need these images around them to see that and make it a reality for them. So, we've been here all morning. This is a live webcast, 7 different major cities. We were in Atlanta talking to a bunch of folks. We're here now in Washington, D.C. We'll be going out to New York, Chicago, Phoenix, Sacramento, all over the country. People are doing great things. And we've had a bunch of people here. We had Congresswoman Doris Matsui. We had Councilwoman Muriel Bowser. We had Gina Adams, the Vice President of Government Affairs from FedEx. It's one of Hands On Network's corporate sponsors. We've had a ton of people here. We had Rose Mock, who is actually the Associate Director of the Peace Corps. And now we have Bonnie Howard from the Annie E. Casey Foundation. Come on over, Bonnie. Nice to meet you. Great to have you. Thank you for coming. Now, talk a little bit about the Annie E. Casey Foundation.
Sure. The Annie E. Casey Foundation is actually headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland. We're a foundation that's been around since the mid-1940s. It was really founded by Jim Casey, who was also the founder of the United Parcel Service of UPS. And they named the foundation, he along with his siblings, named the foundation in honor of their mom, and her name was Annie. So the foundation is Annie E. Casey. And the work of the foundation is really about vulnerable children. And so what we care most deeply about, and our work is really about trying to make a profound difference in the lives of children, particularly those who are economically disadvantaged sort of in this country. We have been doing work for quite a while with Points of Light. One of the real critical pieces of the work that we do at the foundation is really in neighborhoods and in communities, and really about trying to bring about the families who live in those communities to be sort of viable participants in the change that's happening in their communities. So I think the idea of volunteering is something that you've sort of known about, heard about, has been happening for generations, probably before we even had the word volunteer, but just sort of one neighbor reaching out to another neighbor. And really, I think it's the important piece of the work that we do, and that we do in collaboration with Points of Light, has been about trying to make sure that people who live in the community, because they have the inspiration, they have the vision, and they also sort of know what the priorities are in their communities. So we want to make sure that they're active agents in the change process. So I think particularly on this day, Martin Luther King's birthday, when we're all sort of recognizing the legacy and the life of Martin Luther King, we need to think about making sure that we have opportunities and access for all children in this country, making sure that they have access to all of the great things that this country has to offer. And so I think that the work that's happening here today, the work that Points of Light does, is really very important. We now, through the Hands On Network, that is Points of Light initiative, big initiative that Casey is actually invested in, have many of about 148 of their affiliates who actually have embraced this idea of neighboring as part of the broad umbrella of their volunteerism. And so we think that's really important. They've been a great partner with the foundation. We want to thank them for the work they do, for the work they're doing, and thank them in advance for the work they're going to do in the future.
Now, is that a part of the Neighboring Family Strengthening Initiative?
Casey's work has really always been about family strengthening. So when you think about how to make sure that kids are doing well, you've got to not only think about children, but think about their families, think about their parents, because they really are co-producers of good outcomes for kids. And so our agenda with many of our grantees, including Points of Light, has been about looking at strategies that build family strengthening. So thinking about making sure that kids do well when families do well, and families do better when they live in supportive communities.
Absolutely. Now, on a more personal level, why is service so important to you? Where did that come from?
I think that it sort of stems from seeing your parents and seeing people in your family doing the same work. I'm also affiliated with Jack and Jill organization that's here today, and part of the reason that I'm affiliated with that organization is because of the spirit of volunteering and a spirit of giving back. And I think that everyone kind of realizes that we're all very connected as individuals, as human beings. And particularly, I know, like many of us, I spent the morning looking at the news and looking at the tragedy that's happening in Haiti. And I think think that particularly on this day and in light of circumstances that are happening around the world, we all need to really think about sort of what's the contribution that we can all make, because we're all connected and we're all better off if we're helping each other.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know, Bonnie. You look pretty nice. You don't look like you're ready to paint this morning.
It's my anniversary.
Oh, that's nice. Right. Well, we appreciate you stopping by here. We definitely appreciate you talking to all the folks out there in cyberspace. How can people get more information about the Annie E. Casey Foundation?
You can check the website, which is www.aecf.org.
Fantastic. Thank you again for all your help today and every day. We appreciate it. That was Bonnie Howard. She is from the Annie E. Casey Foundation. They have actually partnered with the Points of Light Foundation to institute a ton of new initiatives around the city, around the country, to help people. And that's the theme for today. MLK 2010 is a day on, not a day off. We encourage everybody to get out there and help. We also encourage you to share your volunteer experiences with us. Hit us up on Twitter. MLK 2010 is the hashtag. We would love to hear from you. If you have any kind of questions and comments, we can get them live on air for you. We're here at Powell Elementary School. I'm Stephanie Humphrey. This is the MLK Virtual Town Hall webcast, and we're going to talk to some of the people that are doing the real work here. We got some of the project leaders that are in the trenches. Let me get in the middle of you guys. Dwayne, come on over here. These guys have been here since early morning, making sure everything is organized, making sure the volunteers are where they need to be, making sure the projects are getting done. We appreciate all their hard work. Tell us your name.
Casey Reaver.
And you are?
Dwayne Brown.
Okay. And what organization are you with?
I work for the American Psychological Association, but I'm just a volunteer.
Now, what kind of projects are you working on? What projects are you leading today?
We are repainting the Teachers Lounge, and we're painting quotes on the wall in the Respect Center.
And you are with what organization?
Well, I work for Sally Mae, but I'm just here volunteering as well.
Okay. And what projects are you leading today?
I have the exciting task of painting the bathrooms.
But needed and necessary work, Dwayne. You need that just as much as you need the library organized. I tell you, there's no job too small here. So talk to me on a personal level about why it was important for you to be here today.
Volunteering has always been very important to me. I spend a lot of time working with a lot of different organizations in the area, and I particularly enjoy these large days of service where there's just all these people coming together in the sense of community. I really enjoy it. It's nice.
And same to you, why was it important for you to be here today?
Well, it's a day on, like you said. It's not a day off. And to volunteer, just to come to school like here, just to do our part, and it takes a lot out of you, and you're giving back to the community, which is what I like to do. So.
Now, what has been kind of the response from the volunteers? Everybody's pretty psyched about how many people are you overseeing today?
I'm overseeing roughly around, I want to say 18 volunteers. Very psyched. I have a competition going right now between the bathrooms. Who could paint the bathroom the first person? Right now, bathroom 2 is not in the lead right now, but we'll get them up there. But it's very positive, real positive attitude today. Real good.
Fantastic. And how many people are you overseeing?
I'm overseeing about 20 as well in the two different rooms.
It's been a pretty good morning so far?
Oh, it's been great, yeah. Everyone's very excited.
Now, what's left to do? How long are you guys going to be here today?
I think we're here until noon-ish. Yeah, and then there's a wrap.
And you're pretty much, you'll be wrapping up. Your bathrooms will be done.
Yeah.
Your teacher's lounge will be done. Everything will be great.
Hope so.
Well, guys, Casey, Dwayne, we really, really appreciate you guys talking to us on the Hands On Network. We appreciate definitely you coming out here today and giving of your time. You could have slept in today. You could have, relished a day off from that 9 to 5, but you didn't. You came out and you helped, and we definitely appreciate your efforts. Thanks, guys. Take care. Again, a day on, not a day off. Folks are really coming out here to make an effort. Stephanie, come on over, Stephanie. We want to talk to you again. Stephanie Beck-Tolbeck, another one of our great project leaders today, here for a day on, not a day off. Talk a little bit again about how many people you're overseeing, what types of projects you're working on today.
Sure. I have about 25 to 30 people. We have people painting some murals up in the stairwells. We have people reorganizing and redoing the library and the organization in there. We have some people working with our Spanish teacher who is working to revamp their Spanish classrooms so that they do provide a bilingual education here. And all of our volunteers are really getting their hands dirty, really enthusiastic, and they're loving what they're doing.
And now, how did you get involved with this project?
So I was involved through Greater DC Cares. It's an organization that caters to young adult professionals in the DC area, and I'm here as a project leader, trying to get everyone here coordinated and organized.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for all of your help. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're back with Rose.
Yes.
Rose is the Associate Director of the Peace Corps. Peace Corps is not just an international organization. They do a lot of great work right here in this country as well. And she's here today with us at Powell Elementary to talk a little bit about the Peace Corps, what they do, and why it was important for them to get involved today as well.
Thanks. Thanks so much for having us here today and giving us an opportunity to just remind people about the Peace Corps and everything that we do. Around almost 50 years, learning to work closely with now all of our domestic partners that have grown and grown over the last 10 or 15 years. Volunteerism has always been the heart of this country. 200,000 Americans have made the decision to serve overseas. You go and you give 27 months of your life. You learn so many new skill sets and languages and learn about other countries and other peoples and what their needs are. And then part of our Peace Corps commitment is that when those individuals return, that they give back to their own local communities. They bring back the message about what it's like in other countries, such as the 500 returned Peace Corps volunteers that we have right here now that have returned from Haiti, and how they can figure out how to support the work over in Haiti. Every country is different. We serve in 76 countries. Wow. If you are 18 years of age or older, you could be in your 80s, like Muriel, who's 86 and serving in Morocco right now in a health program. There are no limits for Peace Corps. Have your passion, have your commitment, be willing to serve.
So what types of things is the Peace Corps doing now to kind of encourage volunteerism and get their numbers?
What we've learned is that there's so much work to be done here and certainly abroad both. And so we've been focusing more on multiplying, not just having one Peace Corps volunteer doing their service, but figuring out how they engage other people to be volunteers. Again, overseas, but then certainly back here in this country when they come. So it's that multiplying effect. Right. It's that passion. It's talking to other people about joining the Peace Corps. We've been collaborating the last year or so with AmeriCorps programs and doing recruitment together, because for some people they're not ready to leave the state yet, and they do want to serve in their own community. And then after a while, what we're hoping is that then they'll be ready to make that bigger commitment.
Out there, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So talk to me a little bit about your personal experience with service and why it's important to you.
Grew up doing service back in Ohio. I was one of 10 children. Felt incredibly blessed to have just be in a loving environment and family, and always felt like that's what I was supposed to do, wanted to do, have loved it. It's ended up becoming not just my passion, but it's also been my work. Right. And had the opportunity to be involved with AmeriCorps in the very, very beginning when it was first being formed, and then had this wonderful opportunity a couple years ago to help lead the Peace Corps in this volunteerism effort. So it's very personal, but it's also been just quite a ride to help bridge these relationships between AmeriCorps, the volunteer centers, all these just people that just hear about, let's go get together today and make a difference in our local community, school, building houses, feeding the hungry. Everybody can do something. Everybody can do something.
So where can people go if they want to get more information about the Peace Corps?
That's a great question, thanks. www.peacecorps.gov. Peace Corps has an S on the end of it. And it'll show you all the opportunities that are out there. Our application will pop right up there. And we have recruitment centers all around the country, and a recruiter will call you and interview you and tell you where your opportunity might be for you.
Fantastic. Rose, thank you very much. We have an online question for Rose. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to Rose.
Okay.
How do I begin to help my children understand the importance of volunteering? Now, I know you just mentioned that that's something that you incorporate with your children as well. What did you do to kind of, motivate them and I guess convince them that it wasn't work, it was more help?
Model. You model it. You take them with you. Even if you're doing, one of my daughters who then joined AmeriCorps when she graduated from college, she would go with me when she was 3 years old, when I would be volunteering at the school or at the church or the community where I did some substance abuse education work. She just was always right by my side.
Right.
She started sorting food at our local food bank where I volunteered. And so it just became a part of her life. I think the best way to help your children is for them to see you do it.
So you have to set the example. You have to set the example. When your children see you helping, they want to get involved. Kids follow you around. They want to do everything you do. And you talk to them about why it's important and the fact that these people, there may be some people out there that aren't as advantaged as them, and we all need help, and we're all a part of a greater community, and it's all of our responsibility, really. It's our duty as citizens to help one another. So you start with the example, and they'll follow. They'll be sure to follow. Rose, thank you again. Thank you. So we are rolling here, man. But now I think we are almost out of time. I can't believe it went so fast. We want to thank Congresswoman Doris Matsui, Councilwoman Muriel Bowser. We want to thank Gina Adams from FedEx. We want to thank Rose Mock from the Peace Corps. We want to thank all of our site leaders, all of our volunteers. We want to thank the principal of Powell Elementary, Principal Janice, everybody that came to speak to us, everybody that's here today helping. We want to continue to have you watching. We're about to kick it off to New York in just a couple seconds, but we just want to keep you watching. We want to remind you again, we can get your comments on Twitter. Hashtag is MLK 2010. We hope you learned something here. We invite you to share your experiences. And now we are going to kick it over to New York. I'm Stephanie Humphrey.